Hawaii fires are circulating the internet of how they weren't affected by the flames when things around them was burnt. And this video from laser versus showing different colors reactions and how blue isn't affected. This is for general purposes only, with some people claiming that blue repels radio frequency, and how blue painted objects didn't burn down, with the Simpsons blue umbrella scene, with conspiracies claiming that it's either aliens or laser devices or Russia who did this allegedly. But the Hawaii Fire Science Program Coordinator at Hawaii Community College made a statement about this and said, "There is no reason the color blue has anything to do with wildland fire behavior. Wildland fires do not burn in a consistent manner, but in a mosaic pattern. The blue umbrellas may have been treated with a substance that prevented embers from igniting them. There were unburned structures surrounded by burned structures. And it was stated by them that the fires started from bare power lines, not laser or aliens targeting us or Russia. But what do you think about this? Is this a coincidence? May all the people that lost their lives in these tragic fires be rest in peace."
Does anyone find it quite a bit concerning as to if you're on a ball, why don't you just go from here to here? Why you go up and then down? Flight paths on a flat earth. That makes a lot more sense. Looks like a straight line. You know, if there was a need of an emergency landing from Taiwan to LA, they go up to Alaska. Why? On a ball, Hawaii's just right here. Oh, that makes more sense. Look, Alaska is just in a straight line. Flight from Argentina to India and you're stopping in Amsterdam, way up there. Why don't they just go straight across? Why don't they just go straight across? Oh wait, they do. Argentina, Amsterdam, India. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Another emergency landing from Dallas to Beijing. On a ball, they go up to Calgary. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Dallas, Calgary, Beijing. That's a straight line. And I'm just going to keep pounding it in because some of these people just don't get it. They got excuses. I can't wait to see the excuses in the comments. Okay, flight from London to Pakistan. And the emergency landings in Moscow. Look at that. Why don't they just go straight across? Oh wait, they do. Look. London, Moscow, Pakistan. And this one literally hurts my head the most. Why do they go on a ball up to Los Angeles, down to Peru from Auckland? I mean, they could go straight across, but they're going up to Los Angeles. Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. Lima, Peru, Los Angeles, Auckland. Perfect sense. We could do this all day. Flight paths prove flatter.
I'm blowing your mind again. Ready?
Yeah, let me hear.
Check this out. Disney. Do you know why Disney characters wear gloves?
No. Why?
Check this out. The gloves Disney characters wear,
Yeah.
it's resemblance to...
Disney characters don't have gloves on, bro.
What are you talking about? Disney characters don't have gloves.
Like, what do you mean? Like, the princesses?
No, look at Mickey.
Oh, okay.
Mickey,
Who else?
Goofy, whoever's in that crew.
Okay, so
They
just
wear
that
gloves.
crew.
They wear gloves.
Okay.
Right? You know why?
Why?
Watch this.
Why? Why do they wear gloves? They're all murderers.
Check this shit out.
They're mass murderers.
Boom. Okay.
Let me see.
So you're familiar with those gloves, right?
Yeah.
Mickey's wearing those gloves. It has like the 3 lines on it.
The infamous...
Yeah, the infamous gloves. Interesting. Why those gloves and why those 3 lines?
Okay.
Check this out. These gloves are the same gloves of the Freemasons.
No!
Of the Freemasons, bro.
No.
Crazy.
No
Crazy.
way.
That's why Mickey and all those random characters on Disney, fam, they all wear those gloves, bruh.
No.
Look at it. Those are the Freemason gloves. That's why they have the 3 lines on it. Specifically those 3 lines. Where have we ever...
They put the truth in kids' cartoons.
I suppose there's no harm in walking you through our plan for world domination. We did work hard on it. It all starts here, with the banks.
We don't care about the banks. Where are the animals?
Really? I don't know. I'll stop all our domination plans. I'll pull my lizard men out of Congress. We'll stop using Hollywood to hasten the New World Order. Just let me go.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
I think it's time to stop.
I knew it! Something!
The symbol of the Illuminati.
This Disney Pixar theory will blow your mind.
Imagine it's always been in our faces, that we just were.
That all the kids in the neighborhood are dead and all their adventures are taking place in purgatory. Evidence that supports this theory is because the kids have blue or green tongues, which is evident in corpses. In earlier seasons, the children experience an endless summer, which suggests that time no longer exists. The reason they never leave the cul-de-sac is because they can't. They are stuck souls, forced to live out eternity in the neighborhood they died in. According to the theory, the children all come from different eras between the 1900s and 2000s. Rolf is the eldest of the bunch and died in 1903 after being stampeded by his family's farm animals. Johnny died in 1922 from tuberculosis. His wooden friend Plank was created as a result of his loneliness, and he took Plank into the afterlife since it was the last thing he saw before he died. Eddy moved from New York to the neighborhood during the Great Depression and would scam the neighborhood kids to earn money. Eventually, the children caught on to his tricks and chased him down. To escape, Eddy jumped into a lake and drowned. Even in purgatory, Eddy is still chasing the idea of wealth and money and continues his scams even after death. Ed and Sarah moved into the neighborhood next after their father died in World War II. When their heartbroken mother becomes distant and neglectful, they each find their own ways of coping. Sarah takes on the parental role, while Ed gets lost in his own imagination through comic books. They both passed away in a car accident in 1953. Naz came from a hippie family in the 1960s. Unfortunately, her life was short-lived after her and her entire family were murdered in 1979 by a serial killer who escaped from a nearby asylum. Double D originates from the 70s and came from a strict household where he was raised to strive for perfection in every aspect of his life. Being so worked up and determined to become the best son he could be, he spent extra time on schoolwork and did not notice the gas leak coming from his chemistry set, which eventually exploded and resulted in his death. Kevin came from the 80s. His bullying persona was a result of the abuse he faced from his father, who beat him to death in the winter of 1999. Even though his dad was sentenced to life imprisonment for his son's murder, Kevin imagines his dad as the complete opposite. While in purgatory, he is loved by the very man who ended his life. Jimmy is the youngest of the group, originating from the 90s. Because he suffered from leukemia, he wasn't allowed to hang out with the other children in fear that he would wind up hurt. Eventually, he died from his illness. The Cankers are said to be demons sent to purgatory to torture the souls of the children. Their attraction to the Eds is because they have the weakest will and they each represent a deadly sin. Even though there is some evidence supporting this theory, there's more going against it. For instance, The reason for the children's green tongues is due to the candy they eat, with particular reference to jawbreakers and their vast array of colors. The time period is made to be ambiguous, but by closely examining certain background elements, such as magazines and product boxes, viewers can easily identify the era as taking place sometime during the 90s.
But you really believe the Earth's flat?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
Okay, tell me why. I want to know, like, definitive.
Now, if you look at the ones that
This is the ultimate conspiracy theory, according to Joe Rogan.
If you're a conspiracy theorist,
yeah,
this is the real conspiracy. The conspiracy is have as many social problems as possible that people get distracted by, that people concentrate on, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's masks, vaccines, pride, trans movement, sponsor drag shows for kids if you want people to get mad and want people to get distracted.
Right.
Sponsor
Let them
that.
focus on that.
Get people to think that it's a good idea to do that and watch the outrage. Get people to think that the oceans are going to be boiling in 5 years.
Right.
Get people to think that if we don't change it, like that was one of the things that Greta Thunberg said 5 years ago, that we'll all be dead.
In 5 years?
Well, it's 5 years later, and we're not all dead. So you definitely are wrong, and you're 16. So why are they flying you out to Ukraine? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So there's so many of these fucking social distractions that are in our face all day long about everything. And I feel like sometimes that's what I feel like about Supreme Court rulings. We're going to take away Roe v. Wade. And everybody's like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? And that's another one.
Yeah.
And then that one becomes a thing that people identify as the most important problem that they have to solve. And while all this is going on, money's getting moved around, decisions are getting made.
Yeah.
And it's a brilliant cover for wild shit.
Yeah, because all you have to do ever really is follow the money on anything.
Yeah.
And you see what's actually happening, and everything else is a distraction to that.
So if you're
Now, we already know what spacesuits look like, but they look exactly like sea suits. I know once in your life you've heard of the Bermuda Triangle. Planes and people going missing in the ocean. There are black holes in the ocean. And I just know once in your life you've heard about sea monsters. When you see a comet, it looks like a boat soaring through water. What if these unexplained species in the ocean are actually aliens? If y'all have ever watched this movie Underwater, they went too deep and found the creature that don't even look like it's supposed to be from this earth. Or could it have just been a creature from space? Now you can say what you want, but I bet you we are not the only beings, only species, only creatures that are in this universe. It's just ironic that when they return to Earth, they're on water. I mean, I know I'm not tripping. And I know y'all heard of mermaids. So many unexplained things in the ocean. They're making more discoveries in space. Not really putting too much money or caring about what's going on the planet. Why? Because this sea stuff might have a lot of connections to space. And they not telling us. Y'all be safe, and I know I'm not the only person who feel this way.
All right, guys, this is just a conspiracy, but hear me out. What if, because time is not real, time is literally just an illusion, it's all made up by man, so what if there's not 12 months in a year, right? Because when you look at the month October, Oct means 8, Nov means 9, December means 10, Des means 10. So why is there 12 months in a year? And then spring is like the beginning of the year, but it's not. We start the year in the middle of fucking depressing-ass winter. So what if they just told us this whole time that there's 12 months in a year to make us think that we're getting older, and then when we think, therefore we are, so we're getting older because we believe we're getting older, and then it progresses us to getting more ill, older. This is just a conspiracy, but like when you think about it, because time isn't real, we really are just going along what everyone else is doing, and we really have no fucking idea. So we could be, I'm 22, I could be fucking 17 right now for all I know, you know? Who knows?
A lifetime of indoctrination has given us a knee-jerk reaction to certain terms. Because the heliocentric globe is all we have ever known, when someone suggests that our creation is flat, we imagine some disk floating in outer space, perhaps with water flowing off the edge. This is not biblical cosmology. Such a conception is circulated by misinformation agents as a way to ridicule and discourage investigation of the subject. When it comes to how vastly different biblical cosmology is to the spinning space ball, an absence of curvature is just the tip of the iceberg. Here are 5 key aspects of biblical cosmology. 1. The firmament and the waters. There is no outer space in the biblical model. The first chapter of Genesis and other scriptures describe our world as being encased within an immeasurable body of waters. These vast waters are referred to as the deep. On the second day of creation, God made the firmament to divide the waters which were below from the waters which were above, allowing for an inhabitable expanse in between. Even after the flood, these waters remain. For the psalmist David declared in his day, "Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens." Isaiah describes the firmament as being of a solid material that was stretched out as a curtain over the earth. The fact that the firmament is indeed a domed structure is confirmed by Isaiah's use of simile, comparing it to a tent to dwell in. Elihu described the sky as strong, likening it to a molten mirror. Such terminology proves that the Bible writers understood the firmament to be solid. 2. A circular face with ends. The Bible repeatedly mentions that the earth has ends, and further, that it has a face. A sphere does not have ends, and it is the only shape without a face. The face of the earth is described as a circle when viewed from heaven above. The Hebrew word for circle, kub, does not indicate a sphere, as many would argue, for Isaiah used another Hebrew word, dur, when referring to a ball. The Hebrew word kug is elsewhere translated compass. During our world's creation, God set a compass, or engraved a circle, upon the face of the depth. 3. Fixed upon foundations and pillars. While modern science claims that the Earth is moving through space at unbelievable speeds, the Bible declares that the Earth is presently established, or fixed, and that it shall not be moved. God himself said to Job that he laid the foundations of the earth. It is also written that the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. Pillars and foundations are structural components that must be firmly set in order to serve their purpose. This raises the question, whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? The Bible answers, He hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. This seemingly impossible feat of engineering, the earth being founded upon waters, was marvelled at by Job, who declared, "He hangeth the earth upon nothing." That is, nothing which affords stability as far as man is concerned. The structure of the heavens, the firmament, is also set on pillars, which are said to tremble at God's reproof. 4. The divine dwelling. God's throne sits directly above the firmament. Just as the pillars of the earth are struck in the waters below, God likewise layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters which are above the earth. It is written, "The Lord sitteth upon the flood." Being literally enthroned above our world, the Heavenly Father looks down from the height of his sanctuary. To illustrate the vertical vantage point God occupies, Isaiah states that men are as grasshoppers from God's view. 5. Geocentric, not heliocentric. According to Scripture, the sun, moon, and stars are not millions of miles away, but are simply lights in the firmament of the heaven. Far from being a cluster of space rocks and burning gases roving in their own courses, the Bible teaches that these mysterious luminaries were made for the sole service of the earth, to give light upon the earth. Besides dividing day from night, the clockwork procession of these celestial wonders was to allow man to reckon seasonal changes and to mark the ages as they passed. During his battle with the Amorites, Joshua did not bid the earth, but the sun to stand still. David likewise understood that it is the sun which moves. He likened the sun to a strong man running a race, who untiringly circuits the heavenly track above. This fact is also supported by Solomon, who stated that after the sun goes down, it hasteth to the place where he arose. What are called planets are simply wandering stars. These luminaries traverse the heavens irregularly, wandering in retrograde motions above the earth. Not being mentioned specifically during Creation Week, the wandering stars fall under the general category of stars which God made on the fourth day. Unlike the cosmology of science falsely so called, the creation model that the Bible describes